Welcome to Pokemon News of the Week, tonight's headlines. Giant Treasure EX has some announcements and a few leaks. The brand new Triple Deck is coming out next week. And a Pokemon Anniversary 7-inch record is being released in Japan. All that and more in Pokemon News of the Week. Welcome back to Pokemon News of the Week. My name is Bob and here are today's headlines. And before we get into these, I want to welcome you all to our new set. We have just moved house and that's why we haven't had Pokemon News for a couple of weeks. But we are back and we are going to just get this ball rolling. And today we're going to start off by talking about the brand new triple decks that are coming out next week. That's right, on November 10th there's going to be a special EX deck which has 3 decks inside of it with a Charizard, a Venusaur and a Blastoise deck. Now, this is 5,500 yen and you can basically pre-order this in most places and there's some really cool stuff in here. In particular, there are 3 special art rare cards and we got announcements for those earlier this week. The first one, as you've all seen before, is the Charmander art rare card. This is the Charmander sitting there looking at the Pidgey out of the window. This is an adorable card and I'm glad it's finally coming out in Japanese. There's also this Bulbasaur card where Bulbasaur is sleeping on the windowsill with a Pidgey flying through the window. I think this is adorable and again it's a fantastic art rare. And then there is the Squirtle art rare card, and this Squirtle is just playing in a small paddling pool and it's splashing water with lots of Pidgeys around. They've got a big Pidgey theme in this set. But I'm kind of excited to see what's in here. What's happened before is with the Rayquaza and Charizard deck, we got 2 separate decks, so I'm hoping that this has 3. But anyway, this comes out on Friday next week. We do have one on pre-order, so a video is going to be coming up on the channel either Friday or Saturday. Basically, watch this space. But on the same day, there are actually quite a few goods that are going to be released, and these goods are going to be coming out in line with that special deck. And there's quite a list, so I'm going to go through each of them in turn, show you a couple pictures up here so you can see what to expect with the recommended retail prices. So firstly, there is the Io and Quaxly. I don't know why Io, I don't even know if Io has an English name, but this looks pretty cool. There's also the Haruto and Sprigatito, so these look very cool too. There is unfortunately no Fuecoco. Poor Fuecoco never really gets any love, does he? But there's also a Nemona and Pawmot, and this is adorable. Nemona is a great character, Pawmot is also cute, although I still don't understand Pawmot and Pawmot. Anyway, but that's that. There's also an Arven and Mabosstiff card sleeve, so this card sleeve here looks very nice too. There's also a Brassius and a Sudowoodo. So Brassius is the grass gym leader in Scarlet and Violet. There's also an Iono and Bellibolt sleeve set, and this I can guarantee is going to sell out very, very quickly. People in Japan love Iono, so this will go very quickly. There's also a Grusha and Cetoddle. I do love me some Grusha. We actually have Grusha's picture still up there in the background. Of course we do. We also have a Penny and Umbreon set, so these look very cool as well. There's also a Larry and Komala. Larry is just, he sings to my heart a little bit with the salaryman vibe. I like him a lot. There's also a Rika and a Clodsire, and basically that is everything. All of these sleeves are going for 889 yen retail price. So if you're trying to buy them overseas, they may be up a little bit if you're buying them through resellers, but you can buy them at this price from the Pokemon Center if you're here or through online in Japan. In addition, there are 3 deck boxes. So firstly, there is a Rika and Clodsire deck box. It's slightly different from the deck sleeves, but this still looks pretty cool. There's also an Iono and Bellibolt deck box. Again, possibly this is going to sell out quite quickly. And then there's this kind of like Chibi Paldea Leaders box. I think this is adorable. Some of the art on this looks fantastic. All of these are going for 500 yen each, so they're not super expensive, but they're a great way to store your cards. And then finally, there is also a special binder, which is going to be coming out too, which has the Scarlet and Violet color sides with some of the gym leaders and so on the front. That's going for 1,980 yen, and again, that is something you can get only through Japan currently. I don't know what's going to be happening overseas, but I'm going to assume this is a Japan limited item. So if you want to get hold of this, one way is through the online Pokemon Center website. You're going to have to wait in a queue, so I recommend to get in at 9:30 so you can try and buy these items unless they do sell out. Or the other way is if you're in if you're in Japan and you can actually go to a physical Pokemon Center here. So yeah, some cool items coming out in line with those triple decks. And keeping on the topic of decks, you may remember a couple of months ago we opened up the 8 EX decks that came out in Japan. So that went from Decidueye all the way through to the Melmetal. Like, there was a lot of cool decks. And there was also something called an Omakase deck. The Omakase deck had a possibility of 10 decks, so the 8 that were already being released kind of separate, but 2 secret decks. And those secret decks were the Greedent and the Dragonite deck. They were kind of hard to get hold of. There was just a 1 in 10 chance of getting it, so it was pure luck. But now they are officially releasing that Greedent and the Dragonite deck. So these are going to be released on, and let me double check, they're coming out on November 24th. They're going to be 660 yen each. A lot of places are accepting reservations for these, but I'm pretty confident that these are not going to sell out. Those current EX decks you can basically buy anywhere, even in convenience stores. So you probably don't have to pre-order it, but these decks are finally coming out in Japanese. I have no idea if they're coming out in English because there hasn't been an official announcement, but yeah, pretty cool. And sticking on card news, because basically I do mostly card news, we're going to talk a little bit about Shiny Treasure EX, because there have been a couple of announcements and a couple of things talked about with this set. And firstly, we're going to talk about some of the new cards that have been officially released. First off, there are 2 Students of Paldea cards that are coming out. There is one for Violet, so it's got this kind of purple theme with the kids wearing the purple violet clothes. And there's also one for Scarlet, and they are wearing the orangey scarlety clothes. I don't know why I went purple and orange. But anyway, those are coming out, and I guarantee there's going to be super art rares for these 2 cards, because there have been before with like the Friends of Sinnoh and so on. So these are pretty cool. In addition to that, there is a Great Tusk and an Iron Treads re-release with new art, and in addition, future and ancient Pokemon. So they're really starting to push this mechanic, and I can see this going for quite a while. It's pretty cool, and these cards look nice. I like Donphan, so again, the future past kind of representations of that Pokemon always look fantastic. There is also a few more shiny cards, so we can see from this video where they had an announcement of some new cards, there is a Charmander and a Charmeleon, there's also a Wattrel and a Kilowattrel, and there's a Mr. Mime Jr. They did announce and show some of the base cards for these in the set because they have brand new art too, but I'm only going to show the shiny versions because I think that's what you guys are basically interested in. But yeah, these are definitely coming out, and there's going to be a lot more shiny Pokemon. I think probably, if anything is to go by from the past, possibly about 100 plus shiny Pokemon, which is a lot. So good luck to collectors. I mean, that's going to be tough. But there's also a few new arts, and when they do sets like this, it's essentially a re-release of previous cards that we've seen up until now in previous sets with some new art. And I'm going to have to check my list again, but firstly, there is a Varoom by Kayama, not Komiya, Kayama. This artist I've started to get kind of into a little bit, but I think that this is lovely. I'm loving this art style a lot recently, and I think this Varoom card looks pretty cool. There's also a Frigibax card, and this looks adorable. Isn't it just such a beautiful piece of art with like serenic background of the mountains, and it looks kind of lost, kind of like, where am I? So I like this a lot too. There's also a Natu and Xatu card, or Exatu. I'm going to say Xatu because that's what I've always called it. But these look pretty cool with new art. Same attacks as already released so far, but just very cool arts. And there's also an Alakazam EX with new art. And although this new art looks really, really cool, I think they have missed something big here. It wasn't Alakazam that was banned, it was Kadabra that was banned for 20 plus years. Where is my Kadabra art rare? Where is my Kadabra super art rare? I want a Kadabra art rare. So I am hoping so badly that they realize that this is a great opportunity for them and that they release a Kadabra art rare. But anyway, this Alakazam EX art does look pretty cool, and probably there's going to be a brand new art rare or super art rare in the set. But we did get 2 leaks, and these leaks came out today, and these are from the English set. So we don't actually have any announcement of when the English set is coming out, but these look cool. First of all, there is the Charizard EX Super Art Rare, and we've already seen this card in the previous sets, the Obsidian Flames. This looks pretty cool. I'm loving the dark black shiny vibe. I mean, shiny Charizard is always amazing, but this card looks really, really menacing and mysterious, so I'm a big fan of this. But in addition, there is also a kind of a leak of the Mew EX card. And this is so cool. I mean, just look at the little Diglets, look at the Oddish, the little Poliwag in the water. This is adorable, and it's such a soft, calm, sweet look with the blue Mew. Yep, it's the shiny variant, the blue Mew on that card. So these look fantastic. And it's highly, highly, highly likely that these are going to be coming out in the Shiny Treasure EX. So please remember that set is coming out on December 1st this year, and so far we haven't got any reservations, but I have applied for like 20 lotteries, and there's still a lot more lotteries coming, so fingers crossed I'll have some good news for you at some point. Let's hope we can get some of these cards. And my final piece of news this week, there is a special limited run of a special 7-inch record that is going to be coming out at the end of this year. So this is the Aim to Be a Pokemon Master record, and they've released it in celebration of Pokemon being, I think, over 25 years old. I feel like the 25th anniversary has gone on for quite a while, maybe a couple years now. But yeah, this is a cool little record, and it has a couple of like the old classic songs in it. They're going to be Japanese songs, but nonetheless, it's still an adorable, fantastic collector's item. It's going for 2,970 yen, and reservations are a little tough to get. Sometimes, some of them you can get on AmiAmi, some through Amazon, and so on. Overseas, probably even harder. But this is pretty cool, and what's cool as well, it comes in this beautiful sleeve with this beautiful art. The record itself is yellow. I mean, that's super, super cool as well. It does also come with a limited Ash and Pikachu sticker, which is, I don't know, a bonus. And then also it comes with this kind of cardboard Pokedex thing. I don't really know what it is. Even after translating the Japanese, I'm still not sure what it is. But yeah, pretty cool announcement, and I hope that they just release a lot more anniversary stuff with the 25th never-ending anniversary. But anyway, very, very cool record for collectors. Get your hands on it. And my card of the week this week is going to be the Ancient Mew card. And the reason why this is going to be my card of the week is because when I was back in England a couple of weeks ago, I was going back through my cards and I found a lot of stuff. I'm actually going to do a video at some point just looking at a few cards and some of like the beauty and the art, because I just love some of the old cards. And I didn't bring everything back, I just brought some of them. But I did find my Ancient Mews. One of them's actually up here because it's heavily bent, but one in there. It's beautiful, and it was such a cool promo with like the early movies. Fantastic, fantastic card. And the back of it too. Oh my god. So yeah, this was crazy nostalgic for me when I found it, and this is officially my card for this week. So that's everything for Pokemon news this week. There have been other announcements. For example, there was a wedding ring and an engagement ring event that was announced, but I can't remember where the website is, and everywhere I've looked, it feels like it's just disappeared. So if I find that, that'll be in the news next week. But also, where I've just been so busy moving and getting things set up and unpacked and so on, I haven't really had so much time to get stuff done. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please give us a like, please subscribe. I'm going to try and continue making this Pokemon news thing a regular thing now that I'm officially settled into my new place. But there's a lot more content coming your way, so stay tuned everyone, love you all, and see you next week for more Pokemon news of the week.